All right, John. Well, this actually hit me today at the while I was working. We had an interesting discussion with some Southerners and non-Southerners. So I'm going to put some words on a card for the people listening. Hopefully it'll make sense once they backtrack into it. But obviously the folks watching will be able to see and get this. I just want to hear how you're going to pronounce these words to see, if you really hit the Southern dialect yet, if you've picked it up or not.
Oh, God.
Maybe not dialect. That might not be the right word. It's just a quirky thing about at least Middle Tennessee for sure. I didn't get this too much in Georgia, but it's big here.
But people know your handwriting is shit, right?
I'm being slow today. I'm taking my time.
Okay.
This one, I just want you to use the word I put up there and say like, hey, I got to run to, and then say the word, okay?
This is going to be a long cold open, but yeah, go ahead. Go. I got to run to Kroger.
That didn't work too well.
You want me to say it a different way?
Nope. It just meant like in your own favorite didn't work too well. So now we're going to try this one.
I'm going to go see Zeke at Walgreens.
Strike two, John. Really struggling here. For this last one, I'm not going to write the word, but so my last iPhone, how would you describe them or what happened to them like in a one word that starts with a B?
Bro.
Hey, you got one right finally.
What did I say wrong on the first two?
Well, everybody knows that around here you're going to Kroger's.
Oh, see, I have a big pet peeve with putting S on the end. It's the people that say Nordstrom's, Pennies. The problem is I could say it, I could get around the Southern dialect, but I still don't think it's proper to pluralize something that should be singular. Hence, my biggest pet peeve with dads drinking bourbon, how people go apostrophe S for dads instead of just DADS. Because there's two of us, and it's plural.
But it's also funny, no one ever puts the S in Walgreens. They just say I gotta go to Walgreens.
I think you could still use correct English and have a Southern background or a Southern dialect.
The kicker on the broke versus broken is how everybody in the South just says, nah, man, it's broke. Not broke yet. Like, nah, man, phone broke.
Everyone, my name is John Edwards, and with me as always is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. How the hell are you, Zeke Baker?
Delirious.
You are delirious. How many days has it been in a row that you've been working?
I did 12 in a row, off Saturday, Sunday, then Monday through Friday this week, counting tomorrow or today when folks will hear this. So more days than I care to do. Literally, you get that point of where you're tired. And then after that, you just reach that like next level of blurriness. You just laugh because you have nothing else to do. And your body's so worn out, it hits that extra gear of, I don't even know how I'm standing right now, but I'm going.
You are such a baby. Until you are home working your day job with a kid by yourself. So I have the day job, I have this night gig, all the stuff I do for Bourbon Charity, and a 4-year-old at home at the same time. I said when all of this is over, I want to get a hotel by myself for a night and just sleep.
What kind of bathtub's it going to have?
I'm more of a shower guy. Is that too much info for you?
I mean, I would see that in the normal light, but I mean, I feel like you're talking about like a quiet, relaxing evening away. You want like some big like jacuzzi tub or some shit.
I mean, if there's a hot tub at the hotel, I will go down to the hot tub, but I don't really care.
No, don't go scaring the guests. It's COVID and then you and then shirtless. No.
Are they going to think a bear got loose in the hotel? Like if I go out to East Tennessee, if I walk around with my shirt off, you think like someone's going to try and trap me?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
We ought to get me one of those hats. I'll do a show in one of those next time. But before we get started here, I want to let you know tonight's show is sponsored by CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard as to how you get your alcohol. Right now, everybody's staying home. Things are just starting to open up yet, but maybe you still want a convenience play. You want to get stuff shipped directly to your door so you don't have to go out as much. Go to CaskCartel.com, see for yourself. They have all sorts of spirits, whatever it is you want, they have. Obviously, some of that allocated stuff is going to be a little bit higher, but your daily drinkers should be priced right. So go ahead, go to CaskCartel.com, check it out for yourself, and also follow them on Instagram at CaskCartel. You can see that they always do cool giveaways for their fans and their followers. They're about to give away some Davies County bourbon. I heard that today. So if you follow them, you might get a sample. You never know. So check them out, CaskCartel.com and CaskCartel on Instagram. Zeke, do you know what we're drinking today?
I think we're sticking with the turkey theme we've had for a good week and a half now. Granted, this is a different turkey offering, but we've been on a good little coincidental run here.
We have some smoked turkey, which is great. Looks great in the deli shelf in your fridge at home.
I even got mine out. Oh,
I had a hard time putting the sticker on, though. It keeps kind of...
I showed you where to line it up.
No, I know. I lined it up, but I feel like it kind of folds up a little bit sometimes, and you get the air bubbles in there real easy on this one.
Trust me, I did about 30 last night, and we'll probably do at least 30 more in the next couple of days. You get it down pretty good, buds.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I think for like the 3 that I had to do, maybe 5. And I drove them to people's houses. I was like Bourbon Santa Claus and went and dropped off for 4 people.
Everybody except for poor Tim. He even offered you free food.
Well, the sad thing is that Tim reached out to me. I didn't know that. I mean, he lives closer to you, so I assumed you keep the bottle. Then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I happen to be in Franklin. I'm like, I just dropped everything off with Zeke last night. But we are drinking Wild Turkey bottled in bond today. It is 17 years old, 100 proof, 50% ABV. This is the second bottled in bond Wild Turkey has ever released, besides American Spirit in 2007. Do you want to know a reason why that might be, Zeke?
Actually, that's interesting, especially when there was that era where bottled and bond was just the tits, unless they just always wanted the 101 proof, and for bottled and bond, you got to be 100.
No, you want to know what one of the requirements for bottled and bond is?
I mean, I know the guts of it.
Do you know that bottled and bond has to be distilled by one distiller?
No.
And maybe you have Jimmy, you have Eddie, you have Bruce doing stuff there. One of the reasons why they probably haven't been able to do bottled and bond before is because Jimmy and Eddie have been doing the distilling together. Now, Master's Keep, that label, it's just Eddie's name on that label. That's not something Jimmy is doing with Eddie. The Master's Keep is all Eddie. That is how we get another bottled and bond here.
Interesting nuance.
Yeah, fun fact for you. Now, this is all out of the Camp Nelson Rick houses and comes in at $175. There are 14,400 bottles of this available to the public.
Pretty good yield. I guess that's consistent with the other ones, correct?
Pretty consistent with the other ones that are out there.
About what you see from Four Roses small batch.
Pretty much in line with what you're going to get with the limited edition small batch from Four Roses. Now, were you very excited about this one?
I mean, I'm always excited about new releases.
You're just out for the new jam?
I said, you almost have to be excited about it because, you know, folks are going to ask you about it and what you think, and it interjects new banter into the various conversations we all have throughout the day.
I find it interesting that you're excited about it because I didn't think you were excited about anything since 2004, like anything new.
That's not true.
And that's the last you really know of anything.
I got a new iPhone these days. You kidding me?
This was a very highly anticipated release. A lot of people that are close to Wild Turkey couldn't wait to get this. We have to thank our friend Andy at Campari for getting us a bottle of this. So thank you very much, Andy. Even if we are given the bottle as a media sample, that does not affect our review. That being said, let's go into what the actual review is. Zeke, what do you think about this Wild Turkey bottled in bond?
You know, I tasted a few nips off the sample you left earlier in the week, and I was interested to see, coming back to it a few days later, if airtime, so to speak, had done much to it or moved it around. I can't tell too much difference. Maybe a little hint more of sweet is in there. This is nose-wise is very oak forward to me.
That's all you got on the nose?
That's where it is for me. It's very oak, a little bit of sweet behind me. I mean, it has opened up some. When I first had this, it was legit just straight oak. I'm picking up a little bit more sugar and sweetness now. Even with that, it's like a weird balance between light nips of cherry in there, then the oak hits you again, and there's a little more sweet.
So if it helps what I said, and I think you and I are fairly in line with this, which is funny because that doesn't happen much. I got oak with cherry maple syrup.
I could see that a little bit. I think kind of what almost throws it off as well. All right, it's 17 years, so it's up there. We don't see too much that's aged that long. But the oak, it has a uniqueness to it, and that's almost kind of been what's thrown me off when I even revisit it. It doesn't have like a pre-fire smell to it. It doesn't smell overly aged or charred or, give any hints that it may be bitter or anything in those lines. So again, I think that's really where I just almost get derailed is the fact of you can tell it's oak, but it really doesn't remind me of any other product that I can think of having almost at all.
But the thing that I think threw me a little bit is, you know what the cherry maple syrup reminded me of? It was almost like, you know, when you go to IHOP and they bring out all the different syrups you can get, like you can get the blueberry one, you could get the cherry one, you could get a raspberry, you could get, like they have all these different flavored.
No clue there. Did not know that.
Is this something only a big guy would know?
I mean, I remember going to the IHOP in college a few times when we didn't go to Waffle House, but I don't remember that aspect of it.
You've never taken your kids down to IHOP?
John, I try not to totally just bomb my kids with sugar. Thank you.
It's a very rare occasion that I will take her to IHOP. I think I've only taken her twice, but they have these different syrups that they'll bring around and they'll say, you know, they're all these artificial flavored ones. I'm like, give me the regular one with just the regular sugar. I don't need to add some of that artificial. And it's not a bad flavor, this oak cherry maple syrup, and the oak was hard to get past. So to get that cherry in the syrup, I had to get past that. And I'm not saying hard in like a difficult way, like it's off-putting. It's just that is the first thing you notice. It is the predominant thing you notice is that oak. But there are hints of other stuff back there. Anyways, continue. What do you get on the taste here?
This thing's just big oak bomb. And when I say big, it's not overly viscous or thick. You don't really ever pick up a rye spice, even at the back. You don't get what a lot of us think of as far as kind of a little bit of a turkey signature, where that rye always seems to just kind of grow and build towards the back end and remind you that there are 3 grains in there. And then the oak hangs. I mean, the finish on this thing's damn near shy of epic as far as, to me, how long that flavor just sticks with you. It could be because it's such a unique note and hardly anything has it. But man, I mean, a minute or two later, back of your tongue, you still taste this 110%, and it's noticeable.
Well, yeah, for me, I think the cherry carries over into the taste, and it's all a dry oak. And then moving into the finish, it's almost like a little bit of Big Red chewing gum with some pepper. It's just kind of like a dry spice heat with the oak in the finish. I agree, it's super long, but I almost get, it's not a rye spice. It's more of like a heat.
You told me when you first tasted this, even before I got the sample, you thought it was hot. And I wondered if that was still a note for you, if it had moved around.
It had moved around a lot. And the one thing I would tell people with this is let it open up. Don't let that first sip be how you're going to judge this. And I know I posted a picture over the weekend when I got this bottle and I said, hey, got Wild Turkey bottled in Bond, and everybody goes, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I said, I'm reserving judgment until it opens up, because I know that Cornerstone needed a couple days to open up. A lot of the Masters Keep need a couple days.
Yeah, and kind of to loop back around as far as my initial notes when I had this. It was funny because Steve even messaged me. Very simply, I just said, depends on how much you like oak. And I still think this really holds pretty true. Is it's not sweet oak, but it's not bitter. It's not overly tannic. And then I just said, this sounds weird, but it's just effing oak. And I couldn't describe it any other way, because I don't know of anything that comes off the same way this does. I just kind of ended it with, this is a super unique pour. I really think it is, in that sense of the age, the profile, what we would think and expect out of anything Wild Turkey, especially hyper aged, as I like to say. And
I still don't think that's right.
Well, how many 17-year things you see out there, John Boy?
I still don't think you use hyper aged, and I think hyper aged means to age it more quickly.
No, it doesn't. It's on the boards, man. I'm not the only one. There's countless folks backing me on this one. Final verdict here?
So I do want to mention where it's oaky. I don't think it's over oaked. Like an MGP that gets too old or hits 13, 14 years. It's not over oaked in that sense. It's just the oak taste. So if you don't mind that, it's a very good pour. It's a very unique pour.
That's kind of tough almost, because, and just to throw out there, you never know what product someone has had to where the oak was really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, this isn't, that kind of salty bitterness that a lot of MGP gets when it gets too old. It's not overly tannic, like a wet toothpick in your mouth. It's just been, sitting there forever. It's unique. I mean, it's not the same as the Heaven Hill 27 was, but that's the only thing that I can think of that I've had, anytime recently that had that dominant of an oak profile, but it still wasn't just a complete turn off.
Maybe that Evan Williams 24 that we compared to the Heaven Hill 27.
Yeah, those batches vary though. Damn, That's tough.
Nothing about this is like off-putting to me after I let it open up. I would say like that first sip again, I like it. 175, I think. I mean, if one fell into my lap at retail, I'm not going to turn it away, but I probably would have liked to see this more at 150. And I think what Wild Turkey has done from last year, they bumped the price of this release up to 175 from 140 where it was before. And I don't think it's ever going to come back down. I just would love to see this kind of come back down to that 140, 150 range where it was before. That being said, this is what the price is, so I'm not going to harp on that too much. But if one of these fell into my lap retail, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay getting it at a bar. I definitely would not pay secondary for this whatsoever.
Well, I think Turkey's done good, at least in the consumer eyes. Yeah, the price is a little higher than what people like, but at the same time, it's almost kind of in a unique sweet spot to combat secondary, because I don't think this release or the rye are really going to jump up high enough to where folks are going to take the time to chase this down for the minimal margin that's most likely going to be there. Therefore, the consumers, and especially the big diehard turkey fans, aren't going to have to worry as much about probably being able to get their hands on one of these.
And I think there's some place right now that you could go get Master's Keep on the shelf retail, and there's not a lot of people that are going in and buying them all up. Maybe that is to your point, Zeke, and maybe that's why people aren't doing it, but it's easy enough. If you look hard enough, if you go to more than one store, you're probably going to find a Master's Keep someplace.
I'm a share on this.
You're a share?
Yeah, it'd be a fun bottle split. I don't need a full one for myself by any means. If I was at a bar with friends and they hadn't had it, and especially if it was one of the guys that I know that prefers an oakier profile than I do, I would definitely encourage them or us to get a pour or two and whatever. I don't see myself ever getting through 25 ounces of this one, but it would be fun to share and shoot the breeze over with good friends.
I think this is one of those things that really, really grows on me the more I drink it.
You're going to start drinking scotch soon?
I already do drink scotch.
Well, I meant like more frequently.
No, but this is something that grows on me. I mean, nothing about this is peaty or anything. I still think that this will change the longer it's open. I'd really be interested to see. I think that oaky profile is always going to be there, but I think it's going to smooth out and be a little bit softer. Not smooth in the way that everybody hates the word smooth. More like smooth as in round out the edges.
I was wondering where you were going for your analogy with smooth. I was expecting more after you'd been on a roll for a little bit earlier.
No, I'm saying like smooth, like polish like a rock. Like you smooth out the rock. You polish it. Anyways, want to let you know that all of our glassware is provided by premiumbarproducts.com. There's some great folks over there, Carson, Vicky, Janie. If you want to get laser etched glassware, and I'm not talking about the stuff that comes off in the dishwasher, I'm talking about the stuff that is actually laser etched into your glass and will always be there. Check out premiumbarproducts.com. They have Glens, We Glens, they have the distiller's tasting glass, all sorts of other glass like the Tuith, the Neat, and you can get them engraved and personalized for yourself. They also have bar tools and all sorts of other things. And if you need a bigger order, Premium Bar Products is where you're going to go and get the smaller order for your house. But if you're a bourbon group, you're a store, you're a distillery, and you want to do a bigger order, reach out to me and I will hook you up with the folks at Premium Bar Products and they can help you out. So go to premiumbarproducts.com, check out for yourself, and thank you for giving us glasses to taste from. Zeke, your final vote on this is a bottle share?
Yeah, bottle share. And then a couple of housekeeping items from my end I'll throw out there since we missed them on the front end. Smoked turkey, those are rolling out. Should definitely be hitting the streets and getting going on Monday. Wolfpack KC 10-year bourbon pick. At least some of those will drop this weekend. If I can figure out how to do it, which hopefully I can, there will be a password to access the form to reserve a bottle. The password was mentioned in our Nashville Barrel Company show that came out Wednesday. If you haven't listened to that, please check it out. That will be the easiest way to get the first access to those bottles. That's about all I got, other than for some reason I still have this weird awkward moment of when you say pulling the curtain back. I think about that commercial they're running right now where the chick goes to surprise her husband. It turns out to be like the dad in the shower. I don't know, somewhere you blend into that and it's really messing with my head.
Well, go figure. I'm still a buy on this. I just had another sip. I'm still a buy on this.
Oh, I can tell you've been warming up to it the whole time. Although it was funny when you're like, it's hot. It's hot.
It was hot in the beginning, but I've been warming up to it. I'm in. I'm a buy. It took me, I took a sip and I'm like, I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know how I'm feeling about this. And I'm warming up to it a lot.
I will say, then what you should try, since I know you have them both at your disposal right there as well, take a little bit of this one in the glass, and you put a little bit of smoked turkey in there. It dials back that oak a little bit and shows a little more sweetness. I'll leave it at that.
I'll give that a try. Y'all go ahead and find us on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Find us wherever you download your podcast. Wherever it is, we are on it. And chances are you already know that because you're listening to us right now. Leave us an open and honest review, just like we leave open and honest reviews about the whiskey we drink. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Good old Music City, USA.
Cheers.
Ciao.